Hello to the chat. We're getting the chats popped out. We're going to do, but I'm updating you for any of you watching the VOD on YouTube later. I got a bunch of work I got to do today. I feel like I'm still playing catch up from last week, but such is life. You got to adapt to overcome. So that's what we're doing today. We adapt, we overcome. And then we got some nice, fun Rust streams planned for later in the week, which is very nice. Got a YouTube chat. Yay! Actually huge. Hey Gustavo, hey Baktor. Hello, hello. Wait, I don't think I streamed 2 days ago. Yo, Smith, thank you for the tier 1. I appreciate that. And Amorpeth, thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate you guys subbing even while I'm offline. That's very nice. Hi, Fiskin. Hey, Trax. Hey, Nano. Nika, Nini, Learner. Hello, hello, hello. We do a little focus sesh today. That's the plan. And then later the week, we'll do some Rust stuff. I have some ideas. I kind of want to build. Okay, I have an idea and I don't know the best way to execute on it. So maybe I'll spill the tea with you and you can let me know your thoughts. Part of me is thinking it might be cool to have, I want something to help me keep track of like things I need to reply to. Cause usually it'll be on a lot of different mediums. Like usually anything business related is like going to be via email, but I feel like you end up with so many open threads and then it's like, I don't want to have to like actually add that to a proper task management tool that I then have to like keep organized. So part of me is thinking maybe the easiest way to do this would be through like a browser extension and then have shortcuts to like basically flag the current, the exact current like URL. For example, if you have like a Twitter DM open or something like that, like whatever the URL is showing for that, you can basically have a keyboard shortcut that like saves that as an open thread that you then need to get back to. And then when you've gotten back to it, there's another keyboard shortcut to like basically toggle it as done. I feel like that would be the most like privacy respecting way of doing things. Because again, I'm trying to think of like, how do I build this thing without having it need access to whatever the pages are that you're on? I think that'd be kind of fun. Sounds like a custom built Rust app to me. I do think Rust, obviously in that case, kind of overkill. But you can use Wasm with Rust, which is kind of fun for if I wanted to do like a more full-fledged, a more full-fledged app. Are they all threads in your browser? I think pretty much yes. Because even if it's a discussion on Discord or something like that, like I could have Discord open in the browser. You know what I mean? Like everything, all Electron apps and stuff like that, it's like it's all pretty much browser based. So we kind of funky. Hi, Gio. Thank you so much for the 15 months. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. So part of me is just thinking I should just build it and see what happens. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool idea. Let's just send it. Happy Monday, yo. Happy Monday to yourself, Greens. We're locking in. I haven't had a migraine since last week, so we're doing great. Life's good. The balance is restored. What went wrong for you to go to Rust? I need to feel something. Okay. And Haskell makes me feel too much. Okay. Haskell hurts. I feel like that is part of why functional programmers are so nice on average, is because it's like they've been humbled. They've been humbled on a regular basis for so long. I'm good. Thank you, Planty. How are you doing? Bash, did you like email me your migraine? I'm sick and I got a migraine. I'm so sorry, Wraith. Actually, okay, what did end up helping my migraine was actually, I got a humidifier and I got electrolytes. And so because I do drink a lot of water normally, like usually I drink about 3 to 4 liters of water a day, I would say on average. So it's not like I was skimping on that. But I think just, yeah, having more, like having the humidifier, and I think just drinking electrolytes when my head is starting to feel a little bit tight has been good. Yeah. Okay, Ty Guy says, great idea, but I think a browser extension by definition has access to quite a bit of data no matter what, yeah? I can look, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the time when you add a browser extension, you authorize it to have access to a certain amount of information. I mean, I would love to just build something where it's like, okay, let me require like the least amount of access to stuff possible, you know? Oh, electrolyte, it's what the plants crave. You're so right, Ransom. You know what? You right. How was your weekend? It was great. Out touching grass, you know. Very good. Yeah, weekend's been awesome. It's been really good. I gotta lock in a little bit. Maybe not this week, we'll see. I've been a bit preoccupied with IRL stuff that is very much deserves all of my attention right now. So I am, which is very funny timing, because I'm just like, why did I start a new learning series? Like, you know, right when I was about to have a window of time where I'm focused on something else, but you know, it is what it is. I think that learning Rust, no matter what, is fun and good. A YouTube chat, you guys are built different. I'm gonna be so for real. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm looking and I think they're words, but it's not clocking to me. I don't think you're standing on business. It's not clocking. What I have today, I had a breakfast bagel that was very yummy with egg and ham and cheese. I had that. It was very good. Because you want to feel big brain super productive? Honestly, probably. Yes. The YouTube chat is unhinged. I don't know what they got going on today. Oh, Trax, thank you so much for the 500 biddies. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for your i3 and configuration videos. I got to clean up my config again. I did actually end up switching back to i3, and it took like no time to get working by comparison to Sway. So I think there was what was it? Oh man, I need to document this stuff better, because I don't know how I get this kind of crazy luck with computers. Like, for someone who's so into computers, I feel like it really tests my patience, because I was having I encountered some other issue with Wayland, and it was just like the straw that broke the camel's back. I was like, I don't want to fix this. I'm so done. I really am not interested. So I'm back on i3. That's it. Gustavo says, oh, I'm thinking about dropping Sway too. It's getting on my nerves already. It's so... I feel like I'm trying to remember what it was that wasn't working properly. I actually just cannot remember. But it was like... It was just enough where I'm like, yeah, I could fix this. But it's like I've been inching along with that of like, oh, it should be working TM for now. But it's like, it just has required so much more tweaking than i3 that I'm just like, I freaking give up. I just don't care. It's just so not that deep for me. Give me i3. You know what it was? I think so I think literally the issue was that I was trying to get it. Oh, I remember what it was. I remember. Okay. So the problem was that I had my laptop attached to an external monitor, and it was flickering, and it was driving me insane. And I was trying to figure out was it the cable? Whatever. Tried a bunch of stuff. No, it was just flickering. And I was like, you know what? I just straight up do not have the patience for this. I do not. Give me X-Render back. I need it. I need it. So I gave up. And now I'm on i3 and it took me way less time to get configured. I will say GNOME works great. People, you know what? Sometimes you just got to stick with what works. Are you interested for problem solving like DP? What? Kraft says, I got Adobe apps working on a Winboat on my tablet PC and feel like Einstein. That's awesome. That is very funny. Qtile is the best. It just works. I actually don't think I've heard anyone talk about Qtile before. Unless in my comments, I don't know. Yeah, some people say they really like Hyperland. I think Hyperland has better handling for like screen sharing, multi-monitor configuration, etc. One thing that I've heard about Hyperland though, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this is just like stuff that I saw online, was that it could be a bit iffy with NVIDIA graphics cards. But like honestly, at what point is it a freaking skill issue for NVIDIA? Because my graphics card, my GeForce RTX 2060 was not working for so freaking long. And it was one of those things where like one day my computer was just like, I don't know what this is. We don't have a driver for this. And I was like, bitch, I didn't even update the driver. Since when? What do you mean? So I had so many issues with my NVIDIA graphics card that I only just got fixed recently. Like I'm talking in the last week or two. It is kind of insane. I had to, it's a whole thing. I'm covering it in a video, but like I literally had to install Windows. I had to do a fresh install of Windows on one of my drives just so that I could install the Nvidia app so that I could update the drivers properly. Because even installing the drivers from the Nvidia website wasn't working. It was never detecting that it was a proper thing. It was so weird. And then there's a whole other can of worms with like DisplayPort cables not working reliably with Nvidia graphics cards. Like, brother, what? What do you mean? You're a freaking graphics card. You output to HDMI, you output to DisplayPort. Like, what is the problem? Pissing me off. Freaking so weird. But anyway, apparently Hyperland can be iffy with NVIDIA graphics cards, but at this point, I blame NVIDIA, not Hyperland. Like, come on, that's crazy. It's crazy how many like dead forums I saw with the exact issue that I was having with my NVIDIA graphics card. It's so unreal. Yeah, so it is crazy. Like there were so many of them were just like dead ends where they're like, I never got a fix for this. I ended up just replacing my graphics card. And even AI, when I asked, like obviously the first steps that I tried were like AI, like what does AI say to do and like what the forums are saying. And nothing that AI was suggesting was working. It was kind of crazy. Fiskin says Bash, there's a gaming Linux distro that comes prepackaged with NVIDIA drivers. It's Arch-based install and pretty straightforward that I would recommend. Ooh, okay, good to know for the NVIDIA folks. Possibly something I would consider if I make that tower a Linux machine again, but I very much doubt that I will. Pretty much what I was trying to get working with that computer, because basically I have 2 laptops and a tower that I've had since like 2021. And the tower, before I had dual booting to Linux and Windows, and right now it's only I've actually like just disconnected the old Linux drives because I think if I go back to it, I'm just going to use the same Nix configuration that I'm using on my laptop so that it's easy to stay like up to date with. But I think I actually was just going to want to use that as my stream PC because right now I've been using my MacBook as my stream PC, which is kind of honestly a little bit cursed because like who's using a laptop as a stream PC, you know? But, you know, me. That's who, me. NVIDIA on Linux needs a lot of customization. It's so strange. I've never had any issue. Like, okay, I've had some issues. Let's be real. I've had some issues with it, but I've never had driver issues like that. It was so strange. It was just like it was only using the, on Linux, it was basically just, yeah, using some kind of like generic display adapter. And then even same thing on Windows. It was so weird. It was just like not even in the BIOS menu, nothing was like detecting the hardware properly. It was so strange. And apparently a lot of people had that issue. CachyOS is good for gaming. Ooh, that's good to know. I'm on CachyOS with Hyperland and a 4080 Super. Never had any problems I couldn't fix in a short amount of time. Ooh, okay, wait. I'm writing down CachyOS. Wait, you guys can't see what's in my notebook. This is top secret. Maybe I gotta change the zoom on the camera. Maybe I have to change the zoom. What does 50-10 mean? It means we're going to focus for 50 minutes and then we're going to chat for 10. But we haven't started the focus yet, so we're chatting for some undefined amount of time. Did you stop using NixOS? No, I'm still using it on my my framework laptop. This is the one. Wait, it's plugged into things. I might mess up my whole setup by trying to show you my laptop. Worth it. This one. This has Nix on it. I still like it. It feels good. So yeah, I am using it. I am getting this actually because I really like this framework laptop is so much lighter than my MacBook. I really would love to try and maximize the potential of this machine a little bit more because this would be so much nicer to travel with. Like by so much. CachyOS is perfect for NVIDIA cards and good hardware in general. Okay, that's really good to know. Interesting. Interesting. Writing down API keys in her book. Yeah, pretty much. Am I still a Charm doing to go? No, I actually quit Charm a while back. Now I'm just kind of chilling, working on leveling up my skills in different ways. I feel like it's just nice. And obviously, okay, this is incredibly privileged take from me. I am very aware of that. So take note, okay? I'm very aware that it's very privileged to say this, but it is very nice to get some time where I'm just able to focus on outcomes that are beneficial to me and not an organization that I work for. You know, I feel like that's something that you hopefully kind of earn in your career after like you put in time and it's like, hey, okay, I've been putting my own needs on the back burner for a little bit. Let's dial in on exactly what is going to be beneficial to me for my long-term goals instead of only what's most beneficial for an organization right now. And so that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm taking I wouldn't even say it's an adult gap year. It's just like, I'm just like, what would my dream job look like? Let me try and do that and see what happens. What keyboard are you using? I'm using the Keychron Q11 keyboard. I think I have a command for it. If you need help with NixOS Nvidia shenanigans, I can help you with it. I already run on almost all Nvidia issues on NixOS. Yo, link the dotties. I need more Nix config files that I can reference. That's what I need. But for what it's worth, my framework, which is what's currently running Nix, I haven't had any issues with NixOS on it. The only issues I was having was with like Wayland, and then AMD apparently has like some sleep issues with different Linux distros, but I ended up finding a solution to that, which I will also be covering in a video. I basically have a couple of videos lined up of just like hardware woes that I've encountered recently. How's the cooling on framework? I'm so surprised about the cooling on Macs. I feel like I can't go away from that. I feel like I haven't done anything as like computing intensive on my framework by comparison to my Mac, because my Mac I'll like render videos and stuff like that, which is decently intensive on the CPU. I haven't done something comparable on my framework, so I'd have to kind of like, I think, try it a little bit. You know, I'd have to kind of push it a little bit harder to be able to give you a good answer on that. What do you think about framework laptops compared to the ThinkPads? I think that frameworks are definitely a more premium product. Like the ThinkPads are great because they're like, you know, they're rugged. You don't got to baby a ThinkPad. For what it's worth, I also feel like the framework, not that I'm advocating dropping your framework, but like I feel like the framework laptop for the build is very light, that I feel like it's a bit more, it feels more resilient than what my Mac would probably be if I dropped it. The build quality is much, much nicer. I also, unfortunately, a lot of newer ThinkPads also have their RAM soldered on, which from what I gather, there's like some companies will do soldered on RAM because it like makes it faster somehow. But I really like that I can upgrade my framework laptop. I did get it with a nicer display, and it's really nice. I really like it. Yeah. It looks kind of chunky. It's really not. Let's see. It is, I think if I were to have it, wait, I'm going to do it belly up, because I think the feet are pretty thick. Yeah. I'd say like the actual body of it closed is about the same as the thickness of just the base of a MacBook Pro. So it's really not that big. Are you telling us that you haven't yet opened a bunch of Chrome tabs? I'm not a tabbed out girl. My tabs are not precious to me. I think I've seen friends of mine when I've been like working with them. I'll just like close all my tabs, not checking what they are or anything. I run like at most maybe like 4 or 5 tabs at a time. Yeah, it's nice. It's really thin. Like these. Wait, hold on. This and then like AirPods for reference. Wait, this is not flat for you. Hold on. I think I'm rigging it. I don't know how to do this flat. Chomp Sky says I'm a bad employee because I always focus on me over my organization. I feel like I have a tendency to sometimes give a little bit too much of myself to my jobs. I think that's one thing that I think what can be frustrating too sometimes is that it's like some places it's like your performance isn't measured by outcomes, it's measured by like habits, if that makes sense. Like it's like the hours you put in instead of like the quality of your outcomes, which I wish was the case more often. But that is kind of something that I'm enjoying about doing more of a kind of contract work vibe, is that it's like, hey, I'm being everything is based on outcomes, which is kind of fun. How heavy is it? I don't know. You could probably look it up online. I think I want to say it's maybe like 2.5 or 3 pounds. It's not very heavy at all. It's way lighter than it's definitely less than 5 pounds, because it's nowhere near as heavy as my MacBooks have been. What do you think about the future of software engineering with AI? Honestly, we'll see. I'm in it for the love of the game. So I'm just gonna kind of keep building stuff that I think is cool. Yeah. Do you know anything about stenography keyboards? I do not. No. Do you edit on your framework? I haven't, but I want to try doing that. So one thing that I'm considering trying to set up, and I haven't done this yet, is I think you can do remote renders. I think you can initiate remote renders on, I think if you have a DaVinci Resolve Studio, and I think even with like Premiere Pro and stuff, I think that's something you can do. So part of me is thinking that it would be really, really sick to try and get my setup going so that my Windows computer has DaVinci Resolve on it. And then I basically edit on my framework, and then I send it to get rendered and uploaded, because you can have that as a setting for DaVinci Resolve, is that it like auto uploads to different platforms for you. So basically send it off to there and get it up to upload it and stuff, I think would be a really, really cool setup, but I haven't tried it yet. And I haven't figured out the logistics of that, but I think Tailscale could probably make that possible, but I'd have to look into it more. I also need to see, I don't know if I could get DaVinci Resolve working. I don't trust that DaVinci Resolve would work properly on i3, but I might try it with GNOME. Is there a certain position you need to place the split keyboard, or is it just personal preference? I think it's just personal preference, because everyone's like shoulders are different widths and stuff too, right? So it's like, I feel like just putting it in a place that is comfortable for you makes sense. Is there a way to get the charm stickers in Germany, which I saw on your laptop? I am not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure if they're still giving away stickers or not. I'm sure there is a way to get stickers, but I am not 100% sure. They have a Discord. I would probably check their Discord, or like message like at the staff role or something, and see if there's a way to get stickers. This is not sponsored by Framework. They did gift me this computer, but it was one that I was going to it was what I was going to consider buying anyway, which is why I made a video about it before I even knew that they'd be sending it to me. What do you think about the new Dell XPS 2026 editions? I don't know what the battery is like on those, is one thing. Because I've heard, I think, mixed reviews. Like, I think one of my friends had one, and they were like, I can't remember what they didn't like about it. I'd have to ask them. There was something they didn't like about it, and they're like, oh, I'm going to replace it with a Mac. But I can't remember what performance, what the issue was. But I think I think what I found when I was looking at a lot of different laptops is like the Dell XPS, I think once you deck it out to have similar specs to a Mac, like to this, like the equivalent thing in a Mac, it's like not that big of a price difference. Like the Dell XPS is pretty expensive. The ThinkPad function and control buttons being swapped drives me insane. I have not gotten used to the Framework keyboard. It is also in such a weird place, because I think it is also switched. It's in a weird, like the function key is in a weird spot. Someone needs to let Bash know the job of vertical tabs. Oh no. Do you want to be did you ever work as an AMD engineer? Absolutely not. Ty Guy says contract work is where it's at. I do think it's so funny, because it's so funny because I feel like so many programmers being like, oh yeah, I really like, for so many people, it's like the end goal is in some way, shape or form, either like, just building their own thing or like doing contract work. But it's so funny that like the main driver for that is just like the desire for autonomy. I feel like, and then it's like like where are things going wrong where all they want is the freedom to be able to perform, to like still have great outcomes just working on like software? Do you know what I mean? It's like, how is having a job which is wanting the same outcomes as the contract work, how is that somehow a hindrance or like holding people back from feeling like it's like the end goal of what they want? I will say, I think contract work is just a little bit stressful though, because you have to, you know, it's like you don't have the same certainty as the like monthly paycheck plus benefits, whatever, that you have at a job, which is something that I think is worth considering. Chomsky says current org is very habit forward for their metrics. Just like you mentioned, it's part of why I'm considering accepting a new position at a different company. Yeah, it's so funny. It's so weird. I am still using NixOS. Yeah. Red Hot's been saying I've been meaning to play with Kdenlive. Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty like diehard DaVinci Resolve. I have not tried Kdenlive. I've heard good things about it, but I haven't tried it. I mean, I also bought DaVinci Resolve Studio, so I'm like, I should definitely use it. I should definitely be using it. Tailscale is really cool. Tailscale is really cool. Do you make music? No, I wish. I wish I was that cool. What laptop are you currently using? I have two. Do you want I have a Linux laptop and I have a Mac laptop. Kind of for different purposes. My Linux one is a 13-inch framework, and my Mac is a 16-inch MacBook Pro with M1 Max. It's also, I think, from like 2021 or 2022, but nowhere near needing a replacement. Yeah, I'm deep invested in DaVinci. Composite says, if we're programmers, we don't need a job. We build software to help people and then monetize that. Programming is a superpower. We just need to keep on going. Heck yeah. Do you think Rust is a smart choice for backend programming language? Curious to find out your perspective. I mean, I think so. It seems like a lot of companies are adopting Rust, and it seems to have a very, very high satisfaction rate. Like the percentage of people that write Rust that are really satisfied with writing that language and aren't looking to switch, that percentage is really high. Yo, what's up, low level? Hello, hello. Get a MacBook or a Mac Mini and never look back. I do think in terms of, pure affordability, Mac Mini is a really good deal. OLED laptops drain your battery very quickly. I mean, that's part of why I didn't get a crazy high performance CPU on my laptop. Because I think I had a laptop before that had a really crazy powerful CPU, and the battery would drain so fast. Oh, wait, Chomsky. Okay, Chomsky said, I switched from Ableton Live to Bitwig and no regrets. I don't know what any of that means. I want that so bad. Both DHH and Prime are both raving about the battery life. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. I think, I think in general, like something I've noticed with, I don't know if, I think it's kind of different too, because it's like if you're using Linux with like a GUI, with like a GNOME, or I guess it's all kind of GUIs. If you're using your Linux with like GNOME or something like that, where it's got a kind of more full-fledged graphical display manager, I feel like it probably does a better job of handling sleep and or like power saving during sleep, which I think is, that's kind of the main thing that causes the battery to drain quickly, I feel like. For what it's worth, I don't know exactly. I haven't tried the Dell that they're talking about, the XPS laptop. But when I was at the tower, that was my first time seeing any of the framework laptops. I think we were only charging those framework laptops maybe like, I want to say maybe once a day, something like that. Like I was pretty impressed with how long it went without being charged because we kept losing the chargers. I could never find the chargers. Did you watch Omicron, the con for Omarchy? Pram and TJ were there and they had a good speaker from Dell. It was good Linux support. I actually did not end up watching any of it. I'm sorry, bad friend. Bad friend. What languages are you using in Charm? I don't work at Charm anymore. So yeah, I do not. Awoken says I did contract work for a year before caving on and getting a job. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. I hope your migraines are better. Thank you. I appreciate that. They so far have been really good. YouTube chat being ignored. Sometimes I'm super behind on Twitch chat, so I'm trying to catch up. Yeah, my head is doing much better. Are you self-taught? I feel like all developers to an extent are. I have a partially completed CS degree. I had such a weird unconventional path into programming tech stuff. It's actually kind of weird. Where are you employed currently, if it's not a secret? I'm just self-employed. I'm just out here doing stuff. I almost never use a laptop without it being plugged in. I feel like when you're docked at your setup, like, yeah, you don't really need to. I want to get back into Emacs for coding and any configuration tips. You haven't used it since college. I'll just use a pre-built one. I really like Doom Emacs. It's really good. I would highly recommend. Am I looking for some startups to join? No, I'm just having fun doing my own thing. Oh man, okay. Composite's asking, Bash, how did you start with the streaming stuff and how did you keep going with it? I mean, anyone who's been here for like the whole duration of my streaming journey will know that this is like the most consistent I've been for a very long time. I feel like I would just jump between, like I would have times where I would be really consistent with it. And then I'd go through stages where I was like, I don't want to be on camera at all. Especially when I had like certain life events. Like I lost someone very close to me and I was just like, I don't want to be on camera. I can't like show up and be a positive thing on stream right now. Like I'm just gonna be like heads down and let myself have some space with that. So like, I feel like there's different things that kind of come up where you're just kind of like, I am not prepared to share myself with the internet right now. We're also kind of not built, I feel like, to have this much influx in a day. But the big thing that's, I think, kept me going with it is, I mean, what got me started with it in the first place is just that I wanted time that I could spend that was dedicated to like learning and side projects. Because when I first started streaming, I was in school and I was working. And I basically just didn't have time. I kept putting off my like side projects. And I was like, I know that I'm holding myself back by not working on these greenfield projects. I need practice doing this stuff. And the only time that I could seem to prioritize it enough was being on stream, because when I was on stream, I'm like, okay, well, I can't show school stuff and I can't show work stuff. So this is going to be like dedicated time that I have consistently working on these projects. So that's kind of like how I got started with streaming live coding. And then I just kind of, yeah, I'd say that when I take time away from streaming, I do miss it. I feel like the community is really awesome. It's very fun to have like a group of people that you can talk about programming stuff with. I don't I don't really know anybody in person or like outside of the stream world or like the social media world that like programs, you know? So to me, it's always been like a really fun outlet to just kind of like simulate that immersion that you kind of get in university when you're, you know, studying for CS. It's like being able to kind of extend that into adulthood and find like a really cool community of people that you can learn new things from is very, very fulfilling. So I really like it for that. And I just, yeah, I think that's kind of what keeps me coming back. I obviously like really like the interaction with you guys as well. Like, I mean, even when I've gone through different stretches where I was like just posting YouTube videos and not really streaming at all. And like during those times, I'm like, I want to reply to like every single comment that you guys are leaving because I'm like, oh, I miss the like back and forth, the interaction. But yeah, I pretty much just made it like me just showing up for stream and working on my side projects is a win. So beyond that, nothing else really, like it doesn't really matter. The outcomes of that, it just kind of like, I don't know, people just kind of had fun hanging out in those streams. So just kind of like, I don't know, it just kind of like happened that way, but I wasn't really expecting it to go anywhere, to be honest. Am I coming to React Miami? No. I'm hanging out in Canada. I got Canadian activities to do. You should go. Got to film a new coffee commercial. Yeah. For and React Miami. I know I can't make it this time, but I'll be back in the States at some programming events in the fall, probably. I'm working on it. We'll see. Join the club. I have an information science / tech degree. Yeah, I have. I do have like some smaller credentials as well, thankfully. So like even though I didn't get my finalized degree as like a piece of paper in the programming thing, I do have some different like certificates and stuff. So they kind of add up, but I have a lot of experience at this point. Not specifically in software, but like I was doing like a lot of IT stuff before I landed my first programming job while I was still in school. What inspired you to get into software? I literally was like in my university when I was looking at university programs, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to study. I was just like, computer science. I was like, I think programming would be cool. I don't know anything about programming. I don't know how they turn words into software, but that sounds cool. I don't know what computer science is, but we ball. Let's go. Let's apply to computer science programs, see what happens. I applied to so many different kinds of programs though. I think I was looking at computer science and like radiology and like some other like biotechnology. I knew that I wanted to do something with tech and potentially in the healthcare sector, but ended up I liked the school that I got in for computer science. Did you go through a weight loss journey before? No, I've always been like pretty much the same size forever, even out the womb. Curious, is most of your YouTube channel dedicated to coding? It is, yeah. My YouTube channel is basically me sharing different things that I find along my like programming journey. So it'll be anything from like things related to my setup to like a cool Git feature that I found to, I don't really do that many vlogs because I'm a pretty private person, but I'll do like, yeah, basically just sharing things that I'm learning and like I'll do an occasional vlog, dev vlog. And then sometimes I'll also just share like me working through problems and stuff. NumPy says I have so many unfinished projects. I'm ready. It's time for more. Oh, it's fun being around you too, Bash. Yeah. Chet. You guys are pretty cool. It's kind of fun. Bash's first week streaming have been chaotic but fun. Yeah, it's very chaotic. It's very fun. Will you attend this year's GitHub Copilot days? Do you mean like the GitHub universe? We will see. I'm not 100% confirmed for any of like the conferences and stuff that I'll be attending this fall. But if you guys want to see me at some conferences, you can let me know. Let me know in Discord, because that'll be an easier way for me to keep track of where the people want to see me. But yeah, potentially collaborating with some different companies potentially. Would you ever want to do a project with a punch card? Wait, what do you mean? What is something you've always wanted to program but you hesitate or procrastinate about it? Oh, I have some ideas that are like way out of. I have no idea how the protocols work. I miss Keybase. Did any of you actually use Keybase? I loved Keybase so much. And I really wish it got acquired by Zoom in like beginning COVID time, because Zoom was having their security issues, and then they acquired it, and then it just kind of never really became what it could have been, and it made me really sad because I really, really liked it. So I would love to kind of rebuild some of the features that they made into my own little thing. I think it'd be very cool, very fun. Do you also like robotics? I haven't really done anything with robotics and stuff. Like I haven't done any microcontroller projects or anything like that. I've had some ideas too, but it's kind of one of those things where I'm just like, I don't know. It just there's some kind of blocker for me where I'm just like, oh, then I have to like dedicate a whole section of, I have to figure out where to put all of these robotics and like microcontroller things. I'm like, I'd have to get a soldering iron. I'd have to like where do I do all of that? Where do I have room for activities? You know? And that holds me back. Would you consider moving to the US if the job offer was good enough? Possibly. Maybe. I'm gonna look into Keybase. Thanks for sharing that. It's very cool. So I think some of my favorite features with Keybase is they had the option for a private file server and also a public one. So that was really cool, because then you could have it, and it was free. And I have to look at like what the underlying thing was, but it was basically one of those things where it's like it only allocates you the amount of storage you actually need and are using, which is kind of like a fun thing that I wanted to look into to keep the cost lower. And then I think it was also end-to-end encrypted. For the file store, was end-to-end encrypted. They had a Git, they had a place that you could basically like, what do they call it? They had like a Git hosting platform as well, like built into Keybase, where it would be fully encrypted, all of your repos. And again, you can change permissions to be like just for you or for a team. And then they also had encrypted chat. And they also had it where you could link the chat, like specific chat rooms, to like certain repos, or like have it basically get notified of like any of the Git activity. And I'm like, this is kind of what Slack is doing. And I'm like, why aren't we just using Keybase? Yeah, anyway. And like the authentication, being able to like add it to different devices and stuff was really fun, easy. You could have it you could basically do like identity verification through different platforms. You like verify that it's you. It was very interesting. I thought it was very cool. And I really liked the fact that it was such an easy, like full encrypted thing. And then even like sharing documents and stuff like that was really easy. So for example, I may or may not have had some different PDF copies of textbooks in school. And then I'd put them on my Keybase public file share and share them with and then like just paste that link, and my classmates could download the textbook. Can you elaborate more on your journey in college? I've had a bit of a bumpy time myself. You seem to have landed on firm ground. It gives some hope. Oh yeah. I had such a weird university experience. I got to figure out how much I want to share only for like privacy reasons. I think, yeah, it basically was a thing where I did my first year of CS. I did my first year of CS kind of abroad. Had like the worst burnout of my life. This was like the first time that I discovered that the burnout was a thing. I was just like, oh no, if I just keep pushing myself, working really hard, it'll like, the results will happen. And then I was like, oh, but if I'm going to bed at 2 a.m., waking up at 6 a.m. every day, that doesn't really lead to a super sustainable thing. It was also the first time, like with the burnout, it was the first time that I realized like the impact burnout can have on memory and stuff like that. Cause I got super burnt out right before final exams and it was so messy. And I ended up just like dropping some of my classes because I was literally having like panic attacks during exams. Like I was not okay. So kind of, that was like my first year. And then I ended up transferring to a different school that was a bit more like kind of low key and I thought would be a better learning environment. And then I started doing that. And I was always like, I kind of didn't, want to graduate with any kind of student debt or anything like that. So I was working while I was in school and I would just like pay for the semesters as they came. So I basically just had a job the whole time that I was in school. And I was lucky that after I had transferred schools so at the second university that I went to, I had landed a job in IT. So it was a lot more practical because I was able to apply a lot of what I was learning in school pretty much immediately. And it was giving me really good connections in the industry. And it was kind of one of those things, like even me landing that job in IT was from like me cold reaching out to like different founders in my city and being like, hey, I am like this young woman trying to break into the tech field. I could really use some guidance. I am studying right now, but I'm trying to figure out like how I can break in. I don't know anybody. Would you be willing to just do like a coffee chat? And I can just like basically just pick your brain from like what you've learned. And I was very lucky that I did have like at least one yes. And that was kind of all I needed. They were willing to give me a little bit of mentorship and stuff. And then eventually it landed me a role as an intern. And then I kind of knew that I was like, once I have my foot in the door, I know I'm going to be able to prove myself and my work will speak for itself. And that thankfully was the case. I was able to like move on from being like an intern to like, a more like junior position and then on to like no longer junior and then like the more senior and like leading some of the projects and stuff. And I was able to like do that fairly quickly again, because I think I was like pretty, I don't know. It was very much like, I think I very much had that mindset of like, there is no fallback. Like there is no plan B. It's like this has to work. And so it's kind of one of those things that's like, probably gave too much of myself to the job, especially for how much they were paying me, but like, that is just kind of like the reps you have to get in early in your career. Like, I think at that time I was getting paid like probably close to minimum wage and just, was working so much for them. And then also studying and just, I was just happy that I could pay for all of my schooling and not have, and not have to deal with loans and stuff. So it was kind of a whole thing. But yeah, so I would say, and then basically, cause I did mention that I dropped out. So basically what happened there is I was doing both of those things for a while, got to a point where I started again, wanting to do like something with like side projects. I was trying to be more involved with different online communities and stuff and just like, be more immersed with other developers. Cause it was kind of one of those things where I was working in a different, niche or specialization, different, like I wasn't in tech. I wasn't working for like a software company, you know? So I wanted to be more immersed with other software developers, because that was my end goal, was that I always wanted to do software development no matter what. And yeah, so I then eventually started live streaming the coding just to work on like different side projects that I knew would be really good for me. So I added that into the mix, and started building out a pretty fun community online. And then I started getting a lot of more, like I started getting a lot of opportunity through that to work with different companies and talk to different software developers. And it like gave me an opportunity to like really level up my skills in ways that I hadn't before, because it just expanded the reach of where I was able to get knowledge from. And yeah, so that was big. And then at a certain point, I basically did like a bit of a boot camp kind of thing, just to kind of push that little nudge past like the imposter syndrome. Because even though it's like, I feel like even when you're studying CS, it feels so much of it is so abstract. Like it's so much theory and mathematics and stuff. And you're like, how does this actually apply to making software? So I did a little bit of a boot camp thing just to get like a really hands-on approach to what like a day-to-day job would look like, which I don't think was really necessary, frankly. Like you could really just work on some open source stuff, and you would have you would get kind of a very similar experience with that. But I started getting basically some different people reaching out through the live streams and stuff that they wanted to work with me, like different software companies that wanted to hire me. Because I think I had mentioned as well that I was going to be looking for a job. And yeah, so then I had a few companies that were reaching out and that I did interviews with and stuff, and then ended up working at Charm. So it was kind of a whole thing. But even at that point, I had already had, like, I think, I want to say like 4 years of experience in the IT role. Because that was like, maybe 3 or 4 years. But yeah. So that's the whole lore. So my advice to you, if you're having a rough time in university, is that it is okay. Sometimes it is just hard, and you have to just like do what you got to do to get through it. And you got this. And you're going to have people around you that make it look really easy. And I think that sometimes it is just easier for some people. And I think a lot of it can have to do with environment. A lot of it can have to do with like their nature, with their experience. Like it is not going to be like, sometimes it is actually potentially just harder for you. And that's okay. And it doesn't mean that it's not for you. It just means that you might have to work a little bit harder to get the same results. And it's just all part of the process. So yeah. That's the lore. And I think that hopefully gives you some inspiration or something. Ty Guy says boot camps are great for getting hands-on experience with some support along the way. If you understand that what you get out of it is what you put in. Oh, 100%. Yeah. I would recommend that route to newer devs. I do think what it gave me was just like the reassurance that I was ready for the industry, you know, like I was ready for software jobs. Cause the thing is too, is I feel like when you work at startups, like I've pretty much always worked at startups, and it is like so rare to like actually get a proper onboarding experience at a startup. Like most of the time, their ideal situation is that they hire you, they maybe spend like a week or less, you know, giving you the lay of the land, and then it's like off you go. And I do think that boot camps can be very helpful for like getting you prepared for that kind of environment. Yeah. How's your off-stream projects going, by the way? Not yet. They're okay. I haven't really been as locked in. Like obviously last week I had was a bit of a setback. So I feel a little bit behind, but nothing that cannot be overcome. We can do it. Okay, daily Linux user is saying, I have 10 years of job experience in Linux administration roles, and nowadays I'm a bit lost. It's boring for me, and I'm looking for a job while building my SaaS startup. What's boring for you? I mean, what, are you bored by Linux administration or by the industry, or like what's the problem? I feel like it is kind of hard to be bored in tech. There's so much happening. What advice would you give to fresh grads who are currently in the same position you were? I would say, I think the biggest lessons that I learned, because there are so many ways where I feel like I held myself back and that I could have probably grown more, or like been further along, like now, you know, if I hadn't held myself back with that stuff. And I think a big part of that is being okay to ask for help from others. You would be really surprised by how many people who are really experienced in the field want to help the next generation. Because it's one of those things, there's so many people that are in the field that are really passionate about it. And to see that passion in somebody else, that's like where they can kind of see themselves, it brings them back to when they were in your shoes. You'd be surprised by how many people are like really willing to help there. I would also say try and be as visible as possible. So that does mean like, I guess like just sharing what you're learning. Be present, be engaged with like different online communities can be very helpful. You know, like try and basically like create friends that are within software, and you will like, and don't make it all just new grads. Like just find other people that are interested in the same things as you and like be part of those communities. I do think that'll be such a big difference, because ultimately like those are the people that will like want to see you succeed and will want to share in their success when they do as well. So I'd say that is probably my biggest advice. And I would say a foot in the door is better than not, is like the best thing you can do. Like I probably wouldn't be in tech if it wasn't for the fact that I took like an internship that didn't, you know, that paid like nothing. You know, like that got my foot in the door and gave me the ability to like get my name out there and get like a network of people that I had worked with that I could use as references and or that wanted me for other contracted work. So I would say like just get your foot in the door, even if it's not where you want to be. And don't let that slow you down. Just like get your foot in the door, make enough, keep your costs low, make enough to just like get by and like keep your eye on the prize. Don't let yourself get sidetracked. The pattern on pants is cool. I know they're very fun pants. That's awesome, Bash. You should be proud. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Been there, won't do that again. It was a lot. It was a lot. I think too, but yeah, like people, I think in general, people do want to help. And I think I used to look at like, if I was getting help from somebody, I would look at it as like, oh, I'm putting them out because they are now like doing something for me. But in reality, like if you flip the script and you put yourself in their shoes, if there's someone that like, you know, like someone in your position, someone that I resonate with that is like currently struggling and I relate to that. I know what it's like. If I want to help you, that's not taking anything from me. If anything, it gives me an opportunity. It like gives me a sense of fulfillment as well. It's not like a one-sided thing, you know? And so it's like, I think that with anything, it's like, let people have the opportunity to help you. If you always try to do everything yourself, you're actually taking away an opportunity to grow closer with others. And yeah, with your friends, with your family, anything, like let them help you, because it feels good for them too. It's not like you're putting them out by asking or by making it known that you could use some help. And I think we all need help, no matter how independent you are. There's only so much you can do on your own. All it takes is that one yes. Exactly. Exactly. Will Domain says state college is the best choice nowadays. Little to no debt. Employers care more about portfolio than a brand name college. Yeah. If you didn't need money, what would you do? Literally what I'm doing. What I'm doing right now. I would be streaming. I would be just playing around, tinkering with like everything with computers. Like I love programming. I want to just be good at programming. I enjoy, it brings me so much fulfillment. And like me doing content, being able to, connect with others and leave any kind of positive imprint or impact on people's days, like means a lot. Dharma, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. I got to catch up. Chop Suey, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you had a great stream. I don't know if I don't know if you already got a shout out, but thank you very much. Hold on. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. Any Rust, besides Rust, any plans of acquiring new skills? I mean, like, yes, my goal, I want to build a lot more this year. Like just in general, I want to build more. And I think that will be a big one. I think that things will just I think there's only so much you can plan for, because I feel like once you're out of your area of expertise, you're kind of gonna, I don't know, it's hard to predict like what specifically you're going to learn, but I know I'm going to learn a lot by trying to do these projects, I mean, yeah, again, it could be fun to do some kind of like microcontroller stuff too, but I feel like I need to play catch up a little bit first, Haskell was cool. And still personally my favorite streams from you. Really? Haskell was so hard. It was very fun. I do think that Haskell is very fun. Were you good at math in school? I really liked math, but I think I had a bit of a hard time with, like, math was something I had to try at. I wasn't just like naturally good at math. I think there's something with me. I'm very visual. So like once in university, I had a teacher that taught me how to like to draw out math problems, and it helped a ton. It made it so much easier for me. But before then, I feel like I had so much of the time I had to do, like, there was like, I don't know, maybe a certain amount of like mental math or like, I don't know what, but math did not come naturally to me, but I really enjoyed it. I got good at math because I liked doing it. It was like the one homework that I enjoyed doing. Thank you for the 5. Linux is good, but Nix is better. Ooh, I see. Hinsey says, I felt that. I held myself back for the better part of a decade because I was too ashamed to expose myself. Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's hard too, because I do feel like the computer science path is very competitive, and it can just be very, like, there's so many people that are just like, oh, this is so easy. This is so whatever. And it's like, some people started programming a lot younger. Some people just have more exposure. Some people, it's like their parents are programmers. And so it's like, of course, they're going to feel a lot more natural with a lot of that stuff, And I think it's like, again, it's one of those things where like once you start comparing and you try, like you look at someone else's success and think of that as a failure on your own part is never going to be anything that brings you any kind of positivity or value, but it is something that is, I think, very natural for us to shy away from. Jack says, Rust was not fun for me. I've been using it for maybe 2 years. It does seem to have a lot of ceremony, I will say, but I do think that it's I think it's a very practical choice of language. Of if I'm going to learn anything, Like there's so many jobs and companies that are using Rust that it's probably, it's worth at least knowing. Chomps Guy says, I've noticed a lot of those people in the field who want to help and are willing to help are also people who don't exactly have the headcount to get you paid though. A lot of people in the field who want to help and are willing to help are also people who don't have the headcount to get you paid. Yes, but they can give you mentorship. They can give you mentorship. They can give you experience. And I think that early on, it ends up being like, it does end up being what kind of matters early on. Like you can make money however you need to. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I totally understand what you mean though. Not everyone has openings to be able to like necessarily bring you on, but even having somebody you can ask questions to is really big. Have you already experienced forgetting some of the skills from IT that you were practicing in the past? Honestly, no. I think tech is kind of a weird thing where it's like when you have some level of familiarity with stuff, like so much of it is like so many problems that you encounter are kind of unique to some degree. It's like maybe one, like it could be the same problem, but then it's like the fix that you did last time doesn't necessarily work. I feel like it's more so it's like how you go about diagnosing something and solving that problem. You kind of retain that. So I personally haven't found that I've had like I feel pretty confident that I could jump back into what I was doing before and or like pivot into something else and I'd be able to do it. I definitely don't feel like it was a waste of time. Also, I think it's one of those things where with software in particular, the more you understand another domain, the better you're able to reflect that domain as software. And so it can actually lead you to have some really good project potential with that domain in mind. It's like if you're coming from a finance background and you pivoted into programming, you're going to be really good at like building out any kind of fintech. Isn't that in any field though? There's always going to be someone more experienced, cocky, kind, or helpful. I think there are some fields that are just inherently more competitive than others. And I think what's hard about programming is that there's no middle ground. Like, I mean, there is, but there isn't. It's like it works or it doesn't. It is very like black or white binary. And so it's kind of one of those things where it's like if something isn't clicking for you, but it's click for someone else, there's the potential, especially when you're young, to be like, oh my God, I'm dumb. I can't get it. Prime said the other day, work doesn't necessarily have to be fun. In fact, a lot of the time it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I feel like you can get satisfaction from other things and work can just be a facilitator of those things. And that's what makes it worthwhile. I personally do try to like frame things in a way where I think where I try to make it like fun or interesting no matter what, like if it's, like, for example, let me think. If I'm doing like in school, for example, I thought social studies was really a dumb thing to have to learn because I was like, you know what? What's in the past is in the past. Why don't we move forward? I was just like, I don't know why I need to memorize these dates. This makes no sense to me. But then it's like, if you're able to kind of reframe it in a way that makes you ask questions about it of like, okay, well, why did they do that thing? Or like, why, I don't know. I try to make myself curious about anything that I'm spending time on so that I can at least like, it can be at least engaging in that way. Like, for example, even when I was doing stuff in IT, I had so many tasks that I had to do that were super manual tasks. And I was just like, okay, this sucks. And it's annoying me enough that I want to find out how I can automate it. So let me I'll do my tasks, but I'm also going to spend some time and try and figure out if there's a way I can do this faster. So it's like, it's kind of one of those things, like you can find ways to like kind of add play into it that makes it more engaging for you. And sometimes too, it's just like, it can just be like, Pomodoros. I've done 25 minutes of my super monotonous work. Now I get 5 minutes to like work on something that I really want to do, Let's see. Did you look into the migraine thing? I got, so I've been drinking, I've had electrolytes. I have a humidifier and stuff now, and it's been much better. So I haven't had any, I think it was literally just I think it was just dry eyes and dehydration is my guess. Oh, even in some bigger companies, the onboarding thing is kind of crap. Yeah. Yeah, getting good takes time, and that's okay. I think that's the thing. It's so funny. I don't know why we have this pressure on ourselves of like, oh, if I'm bad, it's not okay. It's like you can be mid as hell and that is fine. You know, like what's the problem? You know, it's fine. Just keep working. Just have fun. Like make it fun for yourself and just keep doing it anyway. And then you'll get better. It's not really that deep. Wow, I've been having migraines. Can dehydration really be that bad? That's what I was like, brother, I'm not an athlete. Why I shouldn't need electrolytes. Like, what the frick am I doing? I'm sitting in a chair typing on a keyboard all day. Like, what do you mean? I drink a lot of water. What's the problem? But electrolytes and humidifier actually did help me a lot. But yeah, I think it was dry eyes was causing like strain. I was getting eye strain and then either a headache as a result of like my eyes feeling so shit or not, just being dehydrated. Okay, you guys, I'm so sorry. I have been ignoring all the subs and stuff. Spaz, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Shader, thank you for the gifted community sub and for the Prime sub. I appreciate that. Thank you for the support. What is 5010? Apparently it's an hour and 20 minutes of me yapping and no focus sessions. Can someone gift me back? That is so funny. That was a gift, RIP. Oh my God. I could have gifted that. Wait, my bad. Lithium, thank you for the 10 gifties. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I see you all enjoyed the lore. I'm glad. Thank you so much for the gifted. I really appreciate that. It really means a lot. It may not be strictly necessarily to solder when starting out. Not your experience with MacBook. Yeah, we'll see. Meh. Better get cracking. It's almost May. It is almost May. I mean, I'm working on it. It's fine. It's happening. Yeah, coding is extreme. It's me sitting on the chair. I have a tiger playing. Heck yeah. I crave my electrolytes. Ransom, it's us and the plants. We need electrolytes. It's what the plants crave. Yeah, apparently I'm doing extreme programming. All right, you guys. Oh, I drink a lot of water. This can cause dehydration. It flushes your electrolytes out. Is that real? Really? You know what? I think I just can't freaking win. All right, you guys, should we focus a little bit? Let's focus up. Oh, don't mind me. I'm moving things around. All right. We gotta work. We'll do maybe we'll just do a little 25-minute focus sesh. Cause I gotta focus. I don't know how much longer I can stream today. So we'll just do a little 25. Sounds like you moved a bone inside your body. Sorry, it's the armrest move. Nars, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's do whoa, my bad. That went crazy. All right, let's do 25 minutes. We'll focus. Yeah, 10-minute focus, 50-minute chat. All right. Bye, you guys. Bye-bye. Okay, apparently my music isn't loading. Hold on. I can fix this. Probably, maybe. Might actually just have to remove it and add it back. So weird. Okay, well, maybe I have to find it again. Okay, guys, sorry, my music isn't working. One sec. Okay, I have to make this quieter for you before it explodes. Is that gonna work? Is it working? I think it's working. All right, you guys, I'll see you in a bit. Hello to the chat. We are back. Just in time for the music to stop. All right. We take a break. Ready? Also, yeah, the titles are wrong. It's we're kind of doing 25/5. I am doing video stuff. In case you're wondering what I'm working on. I have to catch up on some of the stuff that I was doing, so it just feels less chaotic. Forgot to give you a like earlier, sorry. I'll be watching, not liking the stream, that's crazy. Grr. Oh, thank you, I appreciate the likes, thank you. Starship, yeah, I think it's very similar to the Sony ZV-1F at 4K. Mine is the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II at 4K. It's awesome. Yeah. I have seen Bashed by watching Prime, followed for good vibes, staying for the music. I really also love Dakota classical music. I hope she doesn't mind that I use her stream as a radio. No, it's perfect. I actually even made a video dedicated to the classical music because I know some of y'all like it as background. Actually, Craven 10. Yeah, that was legendary timing with the music. The guy, thank you so much for the 4 months. I appreciate it. Wait, tier 3 is crazy. Thank you so much. Thank you. What, the Sigma? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I appreciate the support. Thank you. This ain't going well. Thank you for the gifted community sub. I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for the 30 bits. Let's freaking go. Nars, thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you. Hi, Judy. Hi, Connie. Shader said I just got so much done. Right? I don't know if you're joking or not, but I feel like I just did. I actually, like, that 25 minutes was very productive. Yippee. I'm using today's Pomodoros to do all the stuff that I've put off. I'm like, I don't got time to do that. And then I'm like, you know what? I'll review a thing. I can do it. Okay, Duckface says, thanks for the inspiration to learn Rust. I got into it this weekend as a mobile dev. Getting into backend dev with similar languages, Swift is pretty fun. Ooh, Swift is on my list as well. I think it'd be very fun. Just use Clojure, it'll be fine. I have heard a lot of nice things about Clojure, TBH. We're not pivoting yet. So far, we're doing 25-minute session and an hour 30 breaks. You know what? You right? Yeah. Clojure mentioned. You know what? What can I say? This chat is cool like that. Loki Abu, thank you so much for the 4 months. I appreciate it. Thank you. Tier 3 and don't even give me access to sub channel on Discord. How am I supposed to moderate? Wait, really? I thought mods had access to everything. Okay, that could be my bad. There's a chance that I messed up. Hear me out. I'm a new streamer, okay? I don't know what's happening. I'm new. No, wait. Oh my God, wait, you're so right. That's so funny. Why? That is so funny. Okay, well now the mods can access the bunnies channel. Little did you know, you guys all could have been going crazy. All the subs could have been going crazy. Chris, thank you so much for the 100 biddies. I appreciate it. Thank you. I like your keyboard. What is it? I'm searching for an ergonomic split keyboard. This is the Keychron Q11 keyboard. Yes. Yeah. It's good. It's honestly, it's really nice how easy it is to remap the keys. That is like something I'm very afraid of because I somehow hardware hates me. It's actually like insane. Like I will have issues with hardware that like people will be like, Bash, I've never heard of that before. And I'm like, I'm telling you, there's a whole forum full of us. Okay. I don't know why I have that kind of luck. So I am very nervous to remap keys on my other keyboards because I'm like, what if I brick it somehow? There's literally dozens of us. This one is nice and easy because you can actually just do it through a web browser, which is crazy. So I remapped my caps lock to escape. And I think that was the right call. So all of you that say you got to remap caps lock to control, wrong. Actually, wrong. And it's personal. How often do you grind DSA? Like never. Like never. I don't know. Ask the chat. What about you? I feel like people grind it for, I don't know. Like when would you grind it? For job, for interviews. Are you still learning Rust? I am. Yes. I am still learning Rust. We're going to start building. Maybe we build something this week is my goal. Is that I'm going to start building something this week. Something basic and then slowly more complex. So kind of fun. Why would you do that? Escape would be way better. That's what I'm saying. Escape is the best. All right. We do another Pomodoro. There was only a 5-minute break. I'm sorry. Asking someone if you're still learning Rust is like asking scientists if they're still learning things about the universe. That's very funny. We never stop learning Rust. I may potentially try out other split keyboards. We will see. I'm curious because some of you also suggested some other ones. So I might try out some different ones. And then we'll see what I can do. I won't say anything because I won't promise anything. But don't worry, nothing will go to waste. If I go to in-person events, maybe I bring whatever I don't use. You know? Maybe. No promises, but maybe. Maybe I plan this. Anyway, I think we do another Pomodoro. And then I'm going to get you to start your custom designed keyboard arc. Oh my God. There are dozens of us, dozens. Oh no. All right, you guys. What Canon is that? Oh, this one? I was like, you know what's funny? Okay, Giuseppe, hear me out. I saw your message and I was like, I don't know what that means, so I can't respond to it. And then I realized that I have this Canon camera on my desk. This is the Canon G7X. This one's like 10 years old. It's honestly a really solid, this thing's a workhorse. It's a really solid camera. I only really use it for photos anymore because it only records in 1080p, which is not ideal. The quality is like, it is nice though. It's a really nice picture. And you can't use an external mic with it. So it's kind of only really okay for like B-roll stuff where you're going to voice over. That's what I would use it for. And that's what I actually used it for recently. So yes. Yeah, it's really good quality for photos. And I like that you can use the app on there's an app on your phone that you can sync with it. So you can take a photo with this and then immediately pass it over to your phone, which is really handy. But I usually just use an SD card anyway and put it to my computer. Yeah. This one is older. I prefer my Sony ZV-E10 now. If you were looking for a new camera, this one's probably way cheaper. My Sony ZV-E10, I think was about like, I want to say it was like $1,200 or $1,500 Canadian. And then this one I think was like less than that, and it would be even less than that now. Do I happen to be on a job hunt? I am not currently looking for a job. If you are, I'm wishing you the best. Fingers crossed. We are collectively wishing you the best. All of us. Every single one of us in the room. All right, you guys. That was more than a 5-minute break. I'm spoiling you with chats today. You need more dog time in the streams. The dogs are not, they're not paid actors, right? I could actually probably get a dog in here. Hold on. I need to bribe them though. You asked for dogs. Now you get dogs. Are you ready? Wait, hold on. There's one dog. Come over here. There you go. Can you sit? Good dogs. Look at these. They're so cute. Good doggies. My dogs are spawning more dogs. The dogs are multiplying every time you come on the stream, there are actually secretly more dogs than you even know. Oh my dear. Are you sneezing? Are you okay? Can I get a high five? Okay, you're too, if you can't, that's not it. It's the wrong move. Hold on. Oh, you can't steal it. Hold on. All right. Lock in dogs. It's the time. I need over here. Come over here. There's nothing there. Okay, get over here. Yeah, okay, good, good. Sit. Okay, that's not quite sitting. You're sitting and you're drooling on me. You're so drooly right now. Opal, over here. Yeah, okay, that's, you know what? You moved a little bit. That works. Kai, sit. Sit. Get your little butt up. Thank you. That's for you. There you go. Can I get a high five? Thank you. Opal, do you know high five? You saw that. Opal, high five. That was so good. You're so smart. Did you see that? I don't even know if she knew that. I don't even know if she knew how to do that. Okay, one more set. High five. Thank you. Other. Ah! I'm being attacked. Oh my god. Yo, Opal, you gotta wait. You wait. Kai, sit. Kai, high five this one. This one. Oh my god, you gotta sit. You. Kai, come here. And sit down. There you go. Good dog. Opal, you've been sitting. You've been good. And you waited. That's so nice. They're really spamming. They're doing their best. Okay, off you go. You don't know what that means? They don't know what that means? All right, I'll be right back. Yes, it's normal for dogs to be that calm. They're trained They be calm in the house. All right, you guys. You ready for one more focus sesh? We go back to defocus. And then I'll play some music for you. Ready. Thank you so much for the 20 biddies. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you guys liked the pretty dogs. Oh, one of them is back. Foraging in the wild, just like her ancestors. All right, you guys, we'll do one more. You're so cute. What am I supposed to do with you? All right. Goodbye. Goodbye forever. I'll see you guys in a bit. The Q11 took no time to get used to because it was very quick because it's just like the same shape and everything as normal ones. Okay, you guys, goodbye. music is gone. I'm gonna mute that as well. So how's the session been for all of you? I was very productive. I still have lots I gotta do, but I'm feeling much less chaotic now, which is nice. Muad is asking, is your lab just watch me work? We can't interact or watch what you're working. So on Mondays, we just do like Pomodoro timers often. Sometimes I'll like code on Mondays if I feel like it, but you know, I'm an introverted little girly. So sometimes I just want to sit in silence and not talk, but I still want to like hang, you know what I mean? So yeah. So usually that's what the co-working is on Mondays. And we just we'll do breaks and then we'll chat during the breaks. But yeah, that's kind of the thing on Mondays. And then Wednesdays and Thursdays, we do coding. Yeah. Sometimes we yap, sometimes we don't yap. It kind of depends on the day. Yeah. Cause that's the thing is I'm like, I love sharing my screen. It also just means like logistically with my setup, I have a lot more that I need to manage when I'm sharing my screen. Like obviously to make sure that I'm sharing all the right stuff, etc. And then also it's like this stuff that I'm working on, it's like video editing things. It's like, I don't think that it's necessarily the most interesting to watch. I don't know if it's like beneficial for me to stream showing all of that until it's out. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the plan. It's just kind of an accountability sesh for us to hang out. But I do think that we're kind of, let's say 2.5 hours. I feel like that's pretty good. I think we're pretty good. I'm usually listening to Crowbar Riff. What does that even mean? Hello? Do you start the streams at the same time every day that you stream? I do, yeah. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, they all start at 12 o'clock Pacific. Yeah. Sometimes I'll run a little bit late if I'm having technical difficulties, like what happened like this last week. I was having some technical difficulties, so I was starting a bit later. But generally speaking, they start at 12 Pacific. I thought 25 minutes was too little, but actually for overcoming procrastination, it was perfect. Yeah, that's what I really like my 25 minutes for as well. Just like something to get the ball rolling, you know? 50 minutes is pretty good for deep work that is deep enough that you can actually get stuff done, but you don't forget to reply to your coworkers for your entire workday. That's at least what I find helps. Morales says, this helped. I finished a hefty PR review. Let's freaking go. Are you looking for attention? She want attention. That might mean it's time to go. You guys are making my dog cry. What the heck? That's so rude. She says, why you give all the attention to chat and not me? What if I had more biscuits? I think that could fix it. I think that's the dog's broken. And the only thing that would fix. The guy says all my excuses for being late to streaming would be, I'm lazy or whatever. It's true. Biscuits and tea. Honestly, it might be tea time for the dogs. Not broken. It's a feature. That's what I'm saying. All right, you guys. I think you know who we could probably raid. Oh, I forgot. Hold on. You know what? We're gonna raid the same as usual. The same as usual. However, I need to change one thing. Oh, auto is on? Okay, wait. We can raid auto on We can raid auto on Twitch. I'm trying to get the, I don't. It's so funny. I keep setting this redirect and then I keep forgetting how to do it consistently. Yeah, I don't remember. Wait, customization? Yo, we got it. Okay, so YouTube, you're getting sent to Alveus. You're gonna go watch Animal Cameras when the stream ends, and then Twitch, we're gonna go to auto. Okie dokes. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your Monday. Thank you for hanging out. I very much appreciate it. That was a nice comfy, cozy chat that we got to have, and then we got to do a few productive Pomodoro sessions. Rad. Absolutely rad. I'll see you all in a couple days, and don't forget to join the Discord if you want to stay up to date on when I'm actually starting the stream, because sometimes I do run late. But yeah, I will be doing some Rust programming on Wednesday, so you have that to look forward to, and you'll see my NixOS machine because I got it ready for streaming. All right, peace out, you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Goodbye, goodbye.